In this video, I will teach you how to use ATAS big trades and how you need to combine it together with proper market structure and key areas, because even today you can see there was quite plenty of significant trades. And guess what? If you would took a trade, for example, as a continuation, you would get stop loss. As an absorption, also you would get stop loss. But those of people who followed me properly, but with my team, differently, as you can see, we took most of our trades exactly at swing low, swing high, and because of that we made quite significant profits. And let me explain to you how you also can take those trades. For a start, my friend, before we cover the opening record of a session, I want to remind to you that how I trade and what do I do. First, I use this several templates to understand what's going on. First, if you see that price, for example, day open inside of a previous day major value, with bigger chance there would be some rotation and quite a lot of stop loss hunt. And when you see big orders in the middle, that's a big problem. It is no man's land, because even if there would be some moves, there could be quite a lot of stop loss hunt before actual move happens. That's the reason why with my team we do quite differently. We pay attention to key areas, especially example for you this one, like today. You can see what they did. They took this key level, did pull back. They took London, Asia low, what they did. Beautiful rise by how many? 760 ticks. They took this key level, and what they did, as you can see, 1,300 ticks. If you took a trade in key level, chances to make money were way bigger. That's why that's the reason why my advice to you to pay attention to a volume profile. If you in a D-shaped profile, your priority still would be to look for range low, range high. Additionally, pay attention to VWAP. Main reason why with my team we also use a VWAP, because even today, example for you, price rotate around VWAP, that's a precondition for rotational session. And today you can see second VWAP deviation played out as a key support, and here, as you can see, at high price also reached second deviation, and it also played out as a key resistance. Let's start our record today's session, and let me show to you how actually those absorption had happened, and how thanks with clusters and all together you can see that there could be some significant more. Before, friends, please push like, subscribe, because I record such updates for you, and also write the comments, do you like when I do such videos with explanation regarding indicators. Okay, you can see that session opening has started 16:30. It's European time. You can see quite a significant increase in volatility. Pay attention. There is significant delta, and you might think that because of this massive delta there could be some trend, downward trend continuation, but you can see here and you could think like this delta got absorbed and we should go down. There is no major sell-off, but guess what would happen? And within few seconds you can see those massive aggressive orders. And the biggest problem of all of those orders is that they are inside quite significant range, nearly 400 ticks. And if you have a desire to take, for example, continuation trend trade, main problem where to take it. You don't have quite a significant volume profile. If you remember, I recorded a video how you can use delta profile with big trades. You can see biggest profile was exactly here. That means if you take a trade, your stop loss must be huge. What they did, they retest, as you can see, is that significant delta. And you can see here when they retested that significant delta, price stopped. And here you can see the tape became red and the tide had shifted. Again, massive big bubbles. And what do you think? Should for example long continuation here? Why? At high you have, for example, massive delta that absorbed before session start. That's just an example that not every aggressive trade is good for you. And you can see here how aggressive sellers had started. I remind you all of you, my friends, that you can get access to all my templates and also my trading strategy. What you need to do below this video, there would be this link. Here you open Telegram bot, simply start it, open it, and there would be all the information how to get workspace, free masterclass, and even education if you wish. If you don't use Telegram, you can simply fill this form and also get access. My team will send to you it manually. Please write your country. Because if you, for example, in some country, click and write your phone number with international standard. Coming back to all of this, you can see quite aggressive sellers. And you can see what they did, aggressive buyers pushed, retested this massive delta, and what happened? Yes, nothing. Here just price retested, and inside in a tape you started seeing some small orders. It wasn't something huge, it wasn't such big orders as it was here when price pumped. Reason of that pump, honestly, it's not clear, that pump. But it's just an example for you that not every big order is good for you. Have a look what price did. As you can see, price retested this key zone, and at this moment price dropped quite a lot. And what's going on? Pay attention at this moment. What we can see, aggressive sellers started to appear exactly at range low. That's honestly way better place to take a trade. Why? Because if you, for example, take a trade here, and because you think that those orders will be absorbed, that sellers won't succeed, beauty that your stop loss would be way smaller because price is at range low. You have rotational day, price inside in a value, and there is a chance that this rotation might continue. That's why your stop loss, like 100 ticks, potential reward to range high. And here you can see some buys had started. That's exactly a moment where you could try to take long, because aggressive sellers try to push. They didn't succeed, and buyers started to appear. And right now you can see what they did. Example for you here. Sellers appeared and they didn't succeed. Small buyers started to appear, price did a pullback. And now price gave already nearly 300-400 ticks, and with stop loss 100 ticks, you already have 1 to 3. That's why, once more, context also important as order flow. That's the reason why in quite when I share with you regarding order, I always advise the order flow with market structure, because only in that case you will have a better success rate. Aggressive, as you can see, aggressive buyer appeared, and at this moment you could ask a question: what would be the direction of this move? Just ask yourself. Price in the middle, price at value area low. Will it be because we took long rise because we have aggressive buyers that step in, or price continue dropping? Like, write your thoughts in the comments. Just press pause, and after let's see, will your ideas be successful? You can see what I did. Again, aggressive sellers, those buys get absorbed and continue down. Even this example, you can see value area low, previous day POC. Honestly, if there wouldn't be those aggressive buyers, I would definitely take short here, because there was quite significant drop and price was in a downtrend. There was always a chance for continuation. But again, have a look on those sellers that appeared. Again, sellers appeared, they took previous day low, low of Asia. Quite a lot of sellers appeared. And you can see again, price took range low, and what's going on? Some buyers step in. Main difference between this chart and this, that here I have filter 99 contracts, that here we can see orders only above 99, and here 39 and above. And you can see again, they took low, buyers step in. Now, you don't take any short because price rotate, you don't have clear breakout from value, and still that's example for you when you fade breakouts. Yeah, you can see what price did. Price retested VWAP, 0.5 VWAP deviation from which previously they did quite beautiful drop. Some buyers step in, and in normal cases, if that would be in a trend, that would be a good place to take short. But here, price in the middle of a range, still better to look for range high, range low, because in that once more chances. And the that I want to show to you today. Before I show to you, my friends, I have one request: push like, subscribe, and share a comment. So what should I improve, or what should I add to make such lections and lessons way more interesting for you? And here, what's going on? Some limit orders started to appear, as you can see. It is a depth of market. It was a limit order that got absorbed. Delta here was nearly 600, huge delta. And you can see inside absorption. I personally don't trade such stuff because it is 100% inside. Chances to get several stop losses before actual move happens here way bigger. As you can see, with absorption, again, this situation, as you can see, price again coming to key level. That's just a perfect example for you of rotational days, that there could be plenty of those stop loss hands, and all of your desire to take breakout will end because you see aggressive buy orders. They didn't succeed. There must be absorption. There must be absorption, and we use them as a liquidity to make a significant drop. But guess what? Have a look. Within a few seconds, we take this key level. You can see aggressive sellers step in. And in all this, what you would think? You would think we have massive aggressive buyers that didn't succeed. Price take this key level, and there is a chance that there would be breakout and acceleration and start of a trend. And guess what happens? Look how aggressive sellers appears. You can see aggressive sellers appears. And right now you might think, yes, that's a moment for acceleration. But wait a minute. You can see what's going on. Some buyers. And boom, buyers step in. Again, aggressive buyers step in. Mega aggressive buyers step in. And honestly, that's a moment, that's maybe one of the most important moment of a session, because in normal cases, if that would be a breakout day, on this moment, you would take continuation for a short, because often there would be like price breaks, key level, retest, there could be some absorption and continuation. But because we have completely opposite day, price rotated, and none of breakout actually played out. And honestly, the safest option for a long would be if price stay above this volume, and you can take a trade. Honestly, with my team, what we sometimes, if you, for example, miss a trading opportunity, for example, you want to take a trade after clear confirmation. The best price break, retest, during retest you take a trade. Honestly, that's the best. Sometimes, of course, there would be a move without retest, but you will never take 100% moves, and you must be okay with that. And have a look what's going on here. Skittish. Beautiful, aggressive buyer. That's just example of big trades. If you would take all of those big trades, they're worthless. Because without clear market structure, without confirmation, without clear absorption, what you would do with them? You would simply lose money, because if you would try to use them as a support resistant, none of it would. And when you see at this moment those sellers, and here, honestly, it's an example when price started to move and they didn't make. As you can see here, what they did, they absorbed these local sellers. With my team, what we do, for example, if you didn't take a trade, sometimes you can build anchored VWAP, and if there would be a retest VWAP, you can try to take continuation trade. Here, once more, remind to you that you can go down below this video into description, and you can get all links about how you can get access to our templates, masterclass where we share our strategy, and even how you can join our education program where our mentors can work with you face to face, and even you can trade with them. And you can see regarding this trading day, this delta got absorbed, and have a look what they did. From this absorption, what they did, massive break up, and how many in ticks? 1,344 ticks move up. That's why always use it together with a market structure. What would be the best market structure for example, if that would be a breakout? Honestly, it would be way better if price would stay, for example, below or above VWAP. Like this trading session started, and entire session, as you can see, entire day above VWAP. In this case, and for example, you have some aggressive sellers that didn't follow through, you definitely use them as opportunity for continuation. By the way, here we did live session where I made nearly 1,000 USD of profit live, and there was quite a lot of sellers that got absorbed. I will add link to that live session into description. My friends, my short summary for you: market structure with order flow only after you will have good confirmation and understanding what to trade. Right now, once more advice to you to watch record of a session, because there was quite beautiful opposite example when we had clear trending day, price retest key area, and you use big trades as a best confirmation. Have a nice day.